Hello, this is Barry from Imagination to Reality CNC. And in this video, we're going to talk about the automatic touch-off probe, which comes with all i2R CNC machines, whether it's the A series or the B series. You'll find somewhere in the contacts packed away is a touch-off probe. These probes are used only for setting your Z0 or your Z origin position. And normally in your CAD/CAM software, it allows you a multiple choice where you want to set your Z origin. And normally what they talk about, it's either on your material surface or on your machine bed. And what's very important when using your Z probe is that the probe is placed wherever you've predefined it in your CAD/CAM software. Let me show you how to connect your probe to the i2R CNC machine. Found on the left upstand of the CNC machine, you will find a connector at the back of which you can plug the probe into. Second, you should place the probe either on the material surface or on the machine bed as you've defined in your CAD/CAM software. When running any probing sequence in UCCNC to set the Z offset, please note that the X and Y position will not change. So the probe should be placed directly under the cutting tool. It's always worthwhile mentioning that you need to make sure that the probe is plugged in for it to work. If not, and you run the sequence, the Z will continue going down until it gets a signal from the probe, which is not possible unless it's plugged in. We've added a sequence to the probing function on UCCNC, which allows our users to test that the probe is plugged in and working correctly. If you want to check this outside of the sequence, one method you could look to do is opening up the Diagnostics tab in UCCNC. In the I/O function monitor, try and identify the probe. And you'll notice right now that it's highlighted in gray or it's not active. And when you touch your probe against any of your cutting tools, the probe LED will light up green. As mentioned, we've also built in a sequence into our probing function for the Z offset so that it does a pre-test for you. So back on the Run tab of UCCNC, we need to find the button that runs this Z probing sequence. As mentioned, the probe should be directly under your cutting tool. It must be plugged in, and when you're ready to run the sequence, you can click the probe function. A pop-up has come up on the screen saying the probe pre-test. You should clearly read the instructions on the probe pre-test to know what to do. And please note that nothing will happen and the machine will not move until you acknowledge this pop-up on the screen. When we acknowledge, the instructions indicated that we need to touch the probe against the cutting tool and remove it away for it to identify if the probe was functioning correctly. If the probe is functioning correctly, two things will happen. You'll hear an audible beep and a new message will come up on the screen saying the probe test is successful. Following the instruction, it says, place the probe on the surface directly under the tool to commence the probing. And again, nothing will happen until you hit OK to begin. Before hitting OK, you must ensure that that probe is directly underneath the cutting tool on the surface you want to probe. And in our case, in this demonstration, we're going to probe the Z0 to be on top of our material, not on the machine bed. We acknowledge the pop-up on the screen, and then we can see the Z-axis continues to move slowly down to the probe until it makes contact. When the contact has been established, the Z-axis moves up, and that's the end of the probing sequence. On our UCCNC interface, the Z-axis now should read 35, and this is to signify 35 millimeters from the surface we were probing from. What actually happened with the probe itself is it retracted 10 mil from the surface of the probe, and the software has been given the height of the probe to be 25 mil, which means we're a total now from the tip of our cutting tool, 35 mil to the surface of the material. And this video concludes the Z automatic touch-off probe, which is included in your i2R CNC machine, and a quick run through on how it works with the UCCNC interface. Thank you for watching.